State hasn't lost to Rutgers since 1982, and they haven't dropped a set since 2001. The Nittany Lions and their well-traveled fans will look to continue that domination. They're in the blue and white, Rutgers in the red and black, and you watching along. Here we go. It's Becca Koyedinovich looking to get things going for Rutgers, but hits it long.
First point of the match.
I like this Rutgers squad, a plethora of international rosterees under C.J. Wernicke that are now sophomores and have made big strides. But there's one of their senior leaders, Jasmine Stackhouse. She's got the first kill of the day. And it's the libero for Rutgers, Carissa Swackenberg. Also one of the other captains on this team, the senior, looking to lead the way as well. Speaking of which, starting lineups for Rutgers: Stackhouse, Koyedinovich, Marmon, Maximova, Baliko, Merlevite, and Swackenberg as the libero. Left Penn State's in just a second. Quick set that time for Serena Gray. Good dig there. We've heard that many times from Jenna Hampton, and the Nittany Lions regain the lead. Here is the starting lineup for Penn State. Lauren Clark, Johnny Parker, Gabby Blossom, Jenna Hampton, Serena Gray, Caitlin Horde, and the two-time All-American Kendall White. Arguably the best defensive player in the entire country last year. She took home Defensive Player of the Year honors in the Big Ten last season. Looking for Gray again in the middle. Nothing doing there. Marmon hit the stick. And there on Tali Marmon. So he's going to log the majority of the attacks for Rutgers. Just under 700 attacks this year for the sophomore from Israel, who's the starting outside hitter on the Israeli national team. It's always important for Rutgers to get her going. Big serve that time from Serena Gray, but Rutgers counters and drops it in the middle. And there is Tali Marmon. In that loss to Purdue, Marmon, 5 kills. She was second on the team that day. Also had 6 digs in the loss. And a rare miscommunication there from Penn State, but they do get the error as Rutgers hit the net. And the Lions just got bailed out there. A couple of early changes for Russ Rose. Just past 12 o'clock here on this Sunday afternoon. The final week in the Big Ten has commenced. You're watching live on BTN Plus. Merlevite, the sophomore from Germany. Always imperative to get the production from the middle, and Merlevite, whether it's been her, Jasmine Stackhouse, or Stasha Milievich this year, that has been, I think, the number one biggest improvement for Rutgers this year, their play in the middle. Whether it's blocking, which they've continued to do at a great rate, or getting the offensive production out of the middle. It's been a big improvement for C.J. Wernicke's team. How about that dig from Swackenberg, drawing some oohs and ahs from the crowd, and then Marmon puts it away. Anna Kristenko, the assistant coach for Rutgers, you can see her on the right side of your screen on the sideline, giving out the instructions to those middle blockers. It's been her work with them this year that has led to that aforementioned increased production. Penn State responds. It's Tori Gorell, the redshirt senior from Oakville, Ontario, who's coming up on 200 kills this year, and she has been a steady presence on the outside for Russ Rose over the last 5 years now. Maximova, the sophomore from Russia, had to just keep that one alive. And then it's tough to stop Gorell when she gets going. Gorell has always performed well against Rutgers in her career. You figure this was a match that she was looking forward to. Another big serve. That one blocked back, kept alive, and Rutgers sends it over. But Garrell with 3 straight kills, and right now Rutgers has no answer for Tori Garrell. It's also a redemption game for her, coming off a poor performance on the road against Indiana the other night. 5 kills, but hit 6 errors, so she hit in the negative. Rarely do we find ourselves saying that about Tori Garrell. Kojadinovic with that left hand. Rutgers mixing it up here early on offense. They're back within 2. 7-5, Penn State here in the first set. Poor serve that time from Veit. And she will come off. Maximova dug out that time from Keaton Holcomb, and then the Nittany Lions now starting to pad that lead. How about this, with that win against Indiana? Back on Wednesday night for Penn State. It's the 22nd win of the year. As that one drops in. Marmon might have taken the shoe to the face from Swackenberg. But with that 22nd win from Penn State, that is now all 41 seasons under Russ Rose that Penn State has won 22 matches or more. That is incredible. Maximova downs another one. It's actually her first kill of the day. But how about that? 41 years and 41 times Penn State has won no less than 22 matches. As a matter of fact, they've won 30 matches or more in 27 of those years. That one pushed perfectly into the corner. Gabby Blossom perfectly placing that one in the corner that time. And for the Nittany Lions, one of the winningest programs in the history of this sport, are right up there with Stanford, second most national titles with 7. Goes long. 1,300 wins as a program. We go right down the resume by the numbers for them. 13 Final Four appearances, over 100 wins in the NCAA tournament. 17 Big Ten titles, over 100 All-Americans for a program that, frankly, just the foundation Russ Rose has laid, even when he's gone. Who knows when that will be? He could coach forever with how successful they've been. This is a program that is set up for success, really for life. And they've got another kill there in the middle with Serena Gray. Now the Nittany Lions starting to get on a roll here. They lead 13-7. They're hitting .750 in the early going. It's been smooth sledding for the Nittany Lions, and we are just underway here inside the barn. Penn's back here on BTN Plus. Pat Boyle, the rest of our crew, finishing up the final week of the regular season, and then the sprint is on. The NCAA tournament, which will culminate with the national championship on December 21st in Pittsburgh. We are less than a month away from crowning a national champ. Penn State hoping to be there when the dust is settled. They have been unbelievable so far in this one. Johnny Parker only just getting into the action now. And Johnny Parker, All-American as a freshman last year, and we quickly knew that she was going to be one of the best hitters for the next 4 years. Rutgers good blocking there. It's that middle that's going to have to start stepping up for them. Great dig from Swackenberg. But it's answered on the other end from Gabby Blossom. That one goes wide. And whether it's been the Simona Lees or the Haley Washingtons over the years now that has transitioned into the Caitlin Hordes, the Serena Grays, the Johnny Parkers. It doesn't matter really the names or faces, it's just consistent production. But there's the block from Rutgers. Veit Marmon. Give Penn State just their second attack error of the set. They've brought them back to reality. Scarlet Knights within 5. Veit circling around, cutting that one back through a tight window. Maryla Veit, who was hitting just 170 earlier on in the year, then had a huge boost of production in the beginning of November. Had 40 blocks in a 8-match span and took her hitting percentage over 100 points higher. It's come down a little bit. She's now sitting at 233, but the sophomore improving on what was a pretty good freshman campaign. The expectations were higher for Rutgers this year. They've answered that call with the 2 Big Ten wins. The expectation's going to be even higher next season. These last 3 matches are going to be a good litmus test to see how they stack up against the best teams in the country going forward. Penn State, though, just firing away with great precision right now. Blossom, the sophomore from St. Louis, drops in her first kill. She's already got 10 assists in the opening set. And it's a 16-10 Penn State lead. Another good serve. There's an ace. Officials for today's match: Charles Fleet, the first referee, in the bottom right part of your screen. Alongside, I should say, opposite of him, Elizabeth McHugh, the second ref. And then the line judges, Paul Johnson and Ryan Almanacci. There's Koydinovich with the left. Go back to Marmon, who has to just kind of backhand that one to keep it alive. Lico diving dig. Maximova keeps it alive. Longest rally so far this opening set. And another good dig from Swagenberg. Scarlet Knights' MO this year has been their defense. They're showing it off here. But a good bounce there from Parker. First set, Penn State hitting 393. Rutgers, a respectable 208. They do have the 1 block. They're going to have to try to find a way to slow down the plethora of All-Americans littered throughout this roster. Diving dig and a good one there from Jenna Hampton. That one gets sent into the front row, though. Ends a 4-0 run. But Rutgers have been right around the top 25 in the country all year in blocks per set. They're currently 6th in the Big Ten. And you can see right there, even when they don't block shots, they still do enough a lot of the times to alter them. Serve from Belico. Veit is ready for that one. Swagenberg as well. Penn State just continuing to hammer it away, and they wear down the Scarlet Knights. 19-11 Penn State.
Number 11, Tori Burrell. Volcom serving for Penn State.
Tipped over the top. Marmon got a piece. Another good dig from Marmon. Her defense has been really, really good to finish out this season. And then Anastasia Maximova with the finish. Maximova, who got off to a real slow start this year and kind of had a slow year her freshman season. CJ Wernicke said he really challenged her at the beginning of this year, and she has since answered the call. Martin's got a really good serve that time, just comes up a little bit short. 20-12 Penn State. We take a look at the Big Ten standings here entering the final week of the year. Wisconsin at the top, 15-1. That lone loss, the upset loss to Ohio State. Big time serve. That one, way too much juice on it. Penn State right behind them at 15-2, can get to 16-2 with the win today. Nebraska, Minnesota, both at 14-2. So really, those are the four teams still with a shot of winning the Big Ten title. And again, no Big Ten tournament. Just one of the only conferences in the country to go regular season all the way into the NCAA tournament. And that's based on the resumes and the acumen of the Big Ten and trying to get in as many teams as possible. As Gray placed that one perfectly. Which we've seen just about every year, 7 or 8 teams from the Big Ten get into the NCAA tournament, but with there not being any tournament, whoever finishes atop the top of the conference at the end of the regular season is crowned conference champions. And the folks who scheduled the Big Ten matches this year, they had a thrill for the dramatic, because to finish off the season this upcoming weekend, Penn State plays Wisconsin and Minnesota, both on national TV to finish out the year. And those two matches could decide who wins the conference crown. Nittany Lions, as good as you'd expect them to be here in this opening set, hitting over 350, and they're within 2 points of claiming the first frame. That one tips the net and drops in. They've been getting the bounces too. Second ace of the set, and now 11 set points here for the Nittany Lions. They always travel well. They've brought, I would say, close to 1,000 fans with them here today. That one's going to go long from Parker.
Rutgers keeps this set alive.
CJ Wernicke telling his team, keep stepping up. He's challenged this team all throughout the year on just being competitive. That one, an exclamation point from Serena Gray to take the first set. 25-14 for Penn State. Welcome back here, folks, on BTN Plus. Pat Boyle, our producer Mark D'Agostino, the rest of our crew here inside the barn, and an impressive opening set from the 8th-ranked Penn State Nittany Lions. They hit 317, 17 kills, and led by Serena Gray and Tori Gorell, both with 5. The setter Gabby Blossom, 13 assists and 4 digs. Meanwhile, for Rutgers, Marmon, Maximova, and Veit all with a couple of kills, and Ina Belico, 7 assists and 2 digs. But obviously the Scarlet Knights are going to have to find a way to close off some of those windows and start grabbing some blocks if they want to have a shot at this. Yeah, we mentioned last year Rutgers put some really good efforts together against Penn State. They played them in a home-and-home last year in the middle of October. And they start this set off with an ace. And although they got swept in both, it was the most points that Rutgers accumulated against Penn State in the last decade. We'll talk more about that in a second. Parker, too long. At Rec Hall last year on the road, Rutgers forced extra volleyball, if you will, in that third set. They got to 24, and they ended up accumulating a combined 56 points in that match against Penn State. That was the most they had done since really the turn of the century. Russ Rose, who is business as usual and business all the time, was not happy about his team's performance in that one, really challenged him to be better. But Rutgers was motivated, and after putting up a combined 56 points on the road, they came home. And even though they did lose in straight sets again, they then put up a combined 54. So some really good efforts from Rutgers against Penn State last year. And really, this is a team that the Scarlet Knights seem to rise to the occasion more than most. We look back at the straight set win for Penn State back on September 28th. And Rutgers was again able to put up a combined 49 points in that one. A quick set there. Doesn't work for Caitlin Horde. And then Rutgers will get the point on the error from Penn State. So the Scarlet Knights have the lead here, 3-2. Which they need it because, well, let's be honest, that performance they put together on Wednesday night on the road against Purdue was lackluster to say the least. Just 14 points in the first set and then just 4 points in that second set. And they really picked up the effort. They finished strong, put up 18 points in the third set against the Boilermakers. That serve goes wide, but this is a team that this year, and really for the most part, has played pretty well at home. 4-6 at home this year under head coach C.J. Wernicke. Another poor serve there, that one from Holcomb. So Rutgers edges back in front here, 4-3 in set number 2. Back set for Parker. And a perfect deke that time. Sprinted up to the net like she was going to smash it, and then just absorbing it with the fingertips, the changeup, if you will, drops in nicely. Johnny Parker coming up on 325 kills now on the season. For the sophomore, she's got more than 3.5 kills per set. Well on her way to another All-American nod. That deflection sends that one into the first row on the elevated structure behind us. Great serve from Kojadinovic. Penn State, though, keeps it going. And then they grab the kill as it comes from Gurrell. Go to Gurrell again. That one never made it over. And an ace. And this set getting better and better for Rutgers. They now lead at 7-5. Back to Gurrell, and that is a crushing kill. That athleticism on full display there for the redshirt senior out of Oakville, Ontario. And really, what a story it was last year for Tori Gurrell, who really played kind of sparingly over the course of the regular season. Played in just 5 sets in the month of November last year. But, you know, then surged late, and for whatever reason, Russ Rhodes found that belief in her yet again, and she became one of the best players for Penn State in their run to the Elite Eight in the NCAA tournament last year. She put the body on the line for the dig there. Parker, not enough for the kill. Time Blossom looking for the dump set kill. Rutgers was ready. And Swagenberg, that was really her only chance to try to save that point. But for Gorell, she ended up sliding into the middle and became one of the starting middles for Penn State and played every set in the NCAA tournament. Ended up hitting over 350 for the season. She hit over 400 in the NCAA tournament and averaged just under 2.5 kills per year. The one big performance for her came in that win against Syracuse, where she had 11 kills and hit 500. Here she is serving. That one's out, and it's now a 4-0 run for Penn State. They're back in front 9-7. It was a promising start to the set for Rutgers, now is quickly turning the other way. An error that time on the swing from Gabby Bailey.
Rutgers error, point Penn State.
We look at Penn State's schedule this year, and CJ Wernicke might be challenging this one. No, perhaps not. Yeah, this is a team that could be undefeated if they not only don't play in the Big Ten, but play one of the toughest schedules in the country. The Nittany Lions 4 losses this year to Stanford, the reigning national champions. Pittsburgh, who made a run to the Elite Eight and is currently ranked 2nd in the country. And then Wisconsin and Nebraska. 2 teams that have been to the Final Four of the national championship game the last 5 years or so. There's Bailey again, making 11-9 Penn State. So again, you look at those losses: Stanford, Pittsburgh, Wisconsin, Nebraska. 4 of the top 5 teams in the country. Even though I'm sure Russ Rose would love to go 30-0 every year, it's not going to happen in today's sport. But those losses, as that time, the jostle at the net won by Serena Gray, and she let everybody know about it. It's losses like that and matches like that that Russ Rose has said are going to help us later in the season and in our run. And they grab an ace there. And an 8-2 run has prompted a CJ Wernicke timeout. Nittany Lions starting to grab control of set number 2. It's runs like these that Penn State is currently on right now that, they're so tough to stop. This is when they can completely take over a match. But let's see if Rutgers, coming out of the timeout, has the answer. And for the time being, they do. Mare Levite with a kill. He now has 3 for the match on 4 swings. And this is especially going forward for Rutgers, being able to stop those runs as they grab an ace. Being able to stop those runs, whether it's against teams like Penn State or Wisconsin, Nebraska, or whether it's teams like Northwestern or Indiana. Being able to stop the run is certainly going to be a big key for this team going into next year. Kojadinovich. There's Gray. Did that one fall in? No, it was wide. So the Scarlet Knights answer, 3-0 run of their own. And again, because the bar has been set now. You've gotten off the schneid in the Big Ten. They've got the 2 conference wins. Now the expectations going into next season, when most of this roster is made up of juniors, I think the expectation is to grab 4 wins, 5 wins in the Big Ten, and then you keep building from there. And, you know, Rome wasn't built in a day. They're not going to be a Penn State and Wisconsin and Nebraska in 3 or 4 years from now, but you know, chipping away year by year, that's the goal. Marmon, big time hit down the line. You saw the reaction from Jenna Hampton. She wishes she would have laid off, but good power from the Israeli international. Marmon coming up on 200 kills on the season. They snuff out the swing from Horde. That one absorbed right into the air from Hampton. Here's Parker. Belico stopped it, but then Bailey there to clean it up. He can hold on to her kill. 15-13 Penn State. Rutgers holding the Nittany Lions under 300 right now in this set, but this is a crucial stretch here in this second frame. And it's Horde who cleans it up, and that was started on a really good serve from the senior Emily Shora. 5'4" senior from Chantilly, Virginia. She will serve again here. And she's got an ace. Tremendous serving from Shora. And again, even though Penn State is going to lose players like Tori Gorell, Keaton Holcomb, Emily Shora, and then of course the 2-time All-American and one of the best liberos to ever come through this program, and Kendall White, they've got a tremendous core of sophomores and juniors on this team to fill the void. Kojadinovich with the big left hand. 2 kills for Kojadinovich. They've made life tougher so far. And she's now hitting just 091, but it's allowed for the production to come through the middle. Horde on the second effort again, cleaning it up. And right there, you'd like to see maybe Jasmine Stackhouse and Belico be a little bit more tightly formation there. Big time serve from Parker, and it's going to be an ace. 35 aces on the season for Parker. She does have over 70 service errors, but you saw it there, the dip on that serve. She hits it at the apex. You can see it. Watch the spin. Tremendous serve from Parker. And that sets up the rest of the point. Horde tried to punch it that one. Try Kojadinovich to try to hammer fist it, but Gorell and Horde were there to close it off. 21-14 Nittany Lions. And currently on a 7-1 run. That one from Parker's long. 5 aces already for Penn State. That is the 4th service error. Meanwhile, 4 aces for Rutgers. They've got 5 service errors, so we've seen a combined 9 each. But ill time there from Kojadinovich. Gurrell puts it away, and right now, you know, when you talk to volleyball coaches, and I've said this before, one of the first things they tell you, what are the keys to win such and such game or stop so and so team? And they'll say it's serve and receive. First contact, it's so important. Right now, Rutgers is struggling on those first contacts on Penn State serves. That's been the story here in this second set. Stackhouse does add a kill. The Scarlet Knights looking down the barrel of a 2-0 deficit. Big block that time, much better defense. It's Belico and Stackhouse. Jasmine Stackhouse with her first block of the day. She's within 5 of Mary Kiriako for third all-time on the total blocks list. Gurrell has been tremendous today, 9 kills, hitting .538. We saw Jasmine Stackhouse become the all-time block assist leader in Rutgers program history earlier this year. And Mary Kiriako probably the last person that she can pass on the all-time blocks list. 373 total blocks for her career. Rutgers staying alive. Marmon's got another kill. Give her 5 now for the match. Rutgers still with 6 more set points to try to erase, though. And Marmon blocks it back. That stayed in. 3 blocks for the Scarlet Knights. Maybe a bit of nerves now for the Penn State faithful. And how about that reaction from Gabby Blossom to just tip that one right into the middle. And Penn State has taken a 2-0 lead here, 25-14 and 25-19. The Nittany Lions.
We are approaching set number 3. In this big set match. The current scores: Penn State 2, Rutgers 0. Let's start the first set, 25-14. 25-19. Penn State will serve first in the first set.
Welcome back here, folks, on BTN Plus here inside the Barns. Sunday afternoon here, the final Sunday of the regular season in the Big Ten. And as we approach 1 o'clock on the East Coast, Penn State looking to sled right along into the final 2 matches of the season, and those monumental ones with Minnesota and Wisconsin as they lead Rutgers 2-0. And then in the Lions getting better and better. They hit 317 in the first set, 303 in the second. And they've held Rutgers to hitting under 200 here today. Tori Gurrell, the senior, with a gigantic match. 9 kills, hitting .538. And Johnny Parker, 7 kills, while Serena Gray has chipped in with 6. Meanwhile, for Rutgers, Tali Marmon with 5 kills and 3 digs. Anastasia Maximova with 4 kills and 4 digs. And Nina Belika, 15 assists, 2 aces, 5 digs. But the Scarlet Knights going to need a miracle here to come back from 2-0 down against Penn State. Swackenberg putting the body on the line. But then Koyedinovich couldn't find it. Bogdanovich adds another kill. Struggled early, but she's been playing much better now in these last 2 sets.
Rutgers gets on the floor. Marvin serving.
Johnny Parker continuing to add some kills. We will take a look around the Big Ten in a couple of moments. 4 other big matches today, and the marquee matchup, Wisconsin and Nebraska, which will obviously have giant implications on the Big Ten champion. Wisconsin _1 in the conference at 15-1 coming into this final week. I should say 16-1. And that time, another kill. That one's Amanda Fegley.
Tori Gorell and Emily Shora. Shora to serve.
Here's Koyadinovich, big left. Rutgers going to get the point anyway. There was an error on Penn State. I think they might take away Koyadinovich's kill, but now 5-3 Penn State here, up 2-0. That one's just wide. Bit of a choppy start here to this 3rd set for both sides. This could be a chance for Rutgers to try to pounce and take advantage here, use that gritty play to push them out to a lead. They've had leads so far in both sets. Another poor hit there from Penn State. They haven't found their mark so far in this 3rd frame.
Penn State. Johnny Parker.
Push to the corner. Back for Parker, going over the top. Diving dig from White. Maximova on the 2nd effort. Wanted a deflection, doesn't get the call, and CJ Wernicke is going to challenge. You see Maximova do that a lot this year. Whenever she thinks there's even the slightest of tips, she will signal to see. It's going to be overturned, and Maximova was right. So 5-5. And we mentioned Illinois. And they've obviously have to finish the season strong if they want to get into the Big Ten tournament, regardless of them being ranked. And Ohio State, who is on the probably very outside looking in, but still with a remote chance at 7-10 in the Big Ten. If they can rattle off some big wins this week, they'll at least give themselves an opportunity to get that at-large bid. And then the big one that we're all waiting for in just about an hour or so, Wisconsin and Nebraska. As the Nittany Lions wear Rutgers down there. Again, you've got Nebraska, Wisconsin today, Penn State, Minnesota this weekend, Penn State versus Wisconsin this weekend. Dump set kill, very nicely done from Ina Belico, her 1st kill today. And what another tremendous season it has turned into for Ina Belico. As a freshman, she put herself on the map as one of the best freshmen in the Big Ten, and certainly one of the best freshmen to come through Rutgers in recent memory. Quick sidebar, huge crushing kill there for Tori Gorell, as she's now got 11 on the match. But for Belico, who already has a ton of records at Rutgers, had the most assists in a 3-set match when she had 47 against Howard last year.
Service error, Penn State, point, Rutgers.
Fighting some winter cold there, I apologize, but Rutgers with that last point to make it 8-7. And then we take a look at what Belico has already done this year. And you know, it was tough for her to get better from last year, but she has done that and then some. There's the cut shot. Works out there for Amanda Fegley. Belico on the season, coming into today with a .404 hitting percentage as a setter. Right now, that would go down as the best hitting percentage in a single season in Rutgers history since the 25-point rally scoring era began in 2008. Had over 1,000 assists last year. That was third most in a single season and currently 6th this year. For the break, and the tremendous sophomore season she's having after the great freshman campaign she put together. Maximova just sends that one wide. Again, right now, Belico coming in today with an attack percentage of .404. And since the 25-point scoring era began in 2008, right now she would have the #1 hitting percentage in a single season for Rutgers. Had the third most assists in a single season last year, is on pace to have the top 5 again this season. Also top 5 in assists per set, which she did last year as well. And just a player that has continued to completely round out her game. Out and fight, not finish that one. What a dig that was from Penn State. Koyedinovich, though, with emphasis on that one. Brings Rutgers back within 5, snaps a 5-0 run that the Nittany Lions went on. And one more point on Belico. With 3 matches left to play in her sophomore year, she's already 7th all-time in assists in Rutgers history. And is, if not this season, going to get to 2,000 very early on in her junior season. There's Koyedinovich again. That one dug out that time by Jenna Hampton. And then Parker just misses the mark there.
Point, Rutgers.
But it's been these middle of the set runs for Penn State that have really been the difference today. Nearly an ace for Marmon. Big time dig for Swackenberg. Self-defense more than anything. And then Marmon asking for the deflection, doesn't get it, and we're going to see another challenge here from C.J. Wernicke. That call is going to stand. And then they put it together, the 5-set win against Northwestern, the straight set win on the road at Iowa back on November 2nd. And it'll be all about building on that next year for the Scarlet Red. Penn State really hitting their stride, though, here in the 3rd set. And an ace to go with it for Serena Gray, the middle blocker who is inside the top 10 in hitting percentage in the Big Ten. 70 blocks on the year, and she can serve it as well. One of the most complete middles you'll find in the country. And nearly another ace there. Error in the build-up on Rutgers, and the Scarlet Knights starting to fade here.
Point, Penn State.
Haven't even gotten a chance to talk a whole lot about Caitlin Horde today. Now the sophomore hitting .429 on the year with 121 blocks and coming up on 250 kills. As Gray's got another ace, that is now 8 aces today for Penn State. Caitlin Horde, after the honorable mention All-American nod as a freshman last year, bidding for a second team, maybe even a first team All-American selection this season with how dominant she's been. Maximova hits it wide. CJ Warnicki going to take a timeout. And it has been a routine performance from Penn State. They have really dominated from.
Currently serving for Penn State, number 16.
Back here on BTN Plus, and it has been a tremendous third set for Penn State. They're hitting 4-12. And currently holding Rutgers to 5 kills and 5 errors. Serena Gray, who has seemed like she has served all third set, finally commits an error.
Point, Rutgers, Maryland serving.
Another kill for Fegley.
Kill.
Amanda Fegley now with 3 kills, and everybody has been efficient for Penn State today. Tori Garrell has dominated. She's been the star, 11 kills, 500 hitting percentage. Johnny Parker with 10 kills. Serena Gray with 7 kills, 4 digs, 3 aces, and then Gabby Blossom, 29 assists and 6 digs. Marmon drops one in. It's been a gritty effort for Rutgers. Marmon with 6 kills, Corey Dinovich and Maximova both with 5. Swackenberg with a dozen digs.
Service error, Becca Corey Dinovich. Point, Penn State, Johnny Parker. Serving.
And an ace from Parker. Brilliant serve there from the sophomore from Casstown, Ohio. 21-11, Nittany Lions. Maximova still swinging away.
Maximova serving for Rutgers.
Garrell with another to cap off a fine Sunday for Tori Garrell.
Kendall White serving for the Lions.
Another one for Parker. One quick check around the Big Ten on the final Sunday of the regular season. Maryland pulling away in the first set, leading Northwestern 21-11. Locked in a good one between Michigan State and Indiana. Marmon hits that one long. Ohio State with a slim edge on Illinois in the first set, and again awaiting the first serve between Wisconsin and Nebraska. But match points now for Penn State here. And they finish off the day with an ace. The Nittany Lions systematic from start to finish. Straight set win over Rutgers. Penn State makes it 6 wins in a row. They get to